DC booth. Is everybody having the best Comic-Con ever? Woo! Welcome to a stage demo featuring Marley Zarcone.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah! She is known, she is an artist, and she works with DC, most notably on the Shade the Changing Girl, which is part of the DC Young Animals. Thank you, Kevin.
Yay.
So she's going to do a little bit of a drawing just to see how her process goes. It's going to be live. There it is. And so I'm going to ask you first question, probably most obvious. What are you going to draw?
I'm going to draw Shade.
Big shocker.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
No, that's awesome. So let's start with like kind of the obvious question. So how did you land your first gig with DC?
I did a single issue for Madame Xanadu, and I was kind of recruited off of one of the image books I worked on before, and yeah, I did a single issue, and it was fun. Nice. Yeah, with Matt Wagner was the writer on it, so it was
nice.
Really
if you have
cool.
not read that comic, it is great. That is Madame Xanadu.
Yeah.
I love that book.
And Amy Reeder did some beautiful art on that book.
Oh,
so,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Amy Reeder. So, let's see. Who's familiar with Shade? Any fans? I am. Well, if you aren't, you should really go out. It's a really interesting book. Do you want to give it a little synopsis?
Yeah, it's sorry. the character is an alien from the planet Meta, and she's actually a giant bird. But she uses the Madness Coat to travel to Earth and ends up taking over the body of a teenage bully. And she's kind of learning how to be human and also learning how to put up with people who hate her all at the same time. So it's interesting and complicated.
Yeah, your typical teenage story, for sure.
Yeah, that's how it starts. And then once she learns how to be human, she kind of starts exploring the Earth and getting into some misadventures.
Yeah. So I have to say, I love the story. Thank you for that synopsis. But one of the things about it that I think why I love it and a lot of people do is the art. So what kind of drives your stylized look of her?
I'm big fans of the artists from the original series. So I did take a lot of influence from them. And yeah, from there. And I also love David Lynch and kind of... Yeah, incorporate a bit of my own personal weirdness into it. So, yeah.
So the original series, so it's Shade the Changing Man, also Vertigo title from back in the day. Really great as well. So I know this is weird to ask, but I love that she has a bob. Do you have a particular fondness for
what?
Like the bob haircut?
Oh, yeah, I think it's cute. Yeah. I can't do the bangs. My forehead's too short, but, it looks good when she has it.
So how did you get into being an artist? What propelled you into doing that and taking the plunge?
I've always been, I've always drawn, so it just, I used to copy, I have an issue, one of Andy Kubert's issues of X-Men Blue Team that actually is pretty much embossed because I used to trace the drawings from it so much. So I've always drawn. And then it kind of went from there, and it got into Vertigo books and some manga and everything else. Just always been into comics, and actually joined a website where it was like Street Fighter, where you created your own characters and you competed with each other in Street Fighter style comic book battles. So that was kind of where it took off from there. So yeah,
awesome. That was awesome.
Fun.
So you're part of a collective, yeah? Do you have, it's called Yosh Comics?
Yosh, yeah.
So is that a studio,
yeah,
it was work with other artists?
It was a studio in Seattle. It was Corey Lewis, who did Shark Knife and some other books, and Brandon Graham, who did King City over at Image, and yeah, I just lived in with them, and first I worked as an assistant, so I did line weights and, inks and things like that, so it was kind of, yeah, just a weird house full of 7 dudes, and they're all kind of gross, but you learned a lot from them, so.
That's great. Does anybody out here want to be an artist? Anyone thinking about getting into comics? Awesome. Do you want to do comics? Just art, yeah. So it doesn't have to be just comics, but
We
like if
kinda-
you wanted,
Yeah.
you might try it, maybe. So do you have any like aspiring words or any kind of cautionary tales for young budding artists?
I'd say just, if you're interested in drawing comics, draw comics. Like, spend some time like thinking about just how your pages look and doing like compositions and experimenting and just have fun with it and stick with it. Sometimes some people, progress a little bit faster than others. Everybody comes into their own eventually, so just stick with it. Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree. And with comics, you got to be kind of fast. So, yeah, sometimes you might want to be a painter. You can go a little slower.
Yeah.
So, does anybody have any questions about like maybe the pencil she's using or why she does what she does? Just to kind of just not have me talking all the time. Anyone? Well, I do have a question. I have more questions for you.
Okay.
So do you enjoy, how about drawing backgrounds? I know a lot of people can be kind of intimidated or they don't like it. Do you really enjoy it?
It depends. Sometimes it can be, you're setting the stage, so sometimes it can be fun. Sometimes it can be tedious, but it's all important. But yeah, it's some environments are fun. Drawing Gotham was a lot of fun, so yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Let's see.
So tell us a little bit more about how you decided to draw her in this way. Like, let's talk about like the clothes. Like, let's talk about the jacket.
Oh yeah.
That's probably a really important thing to talk about.
The Madness jacket. Yeah, it's ever evolving because why be stuck in one piece of clothing when that's the point? It kind of evolves. The jacket can be anything you want. Sometimes it can be a vest. Sometimes it can be. That's the joy of the outfit. It's not constrained to just one look, just so long as it has the pattern on it.
Yeah. So, and does that come from the original series or?
Oh yes, yeah.
So
there's bits of it from the original series, and he did change it up as the series went on. So yeah, it's not always the same.
So do you enjoy drawing the fashion part? Is that like I know when I draw, it's my favorite.
It's fun.
Okay,
yeah. Sometimes I go on Tumblr and look at like outfit combinations because it's fun. So it's fun to like something that was a hobby beforehand actually becomes handy now. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Do you listen to any sort of music when you are drawing, or do you watch TV, or what's your thing?
I watch a lot of trashy television, like just terrible reality television, or
what's your
like
favorite?
sometimes Judge Judy, a fair amount of Judge Judy.
Who doesn't love Judge Judy? She is a saint.
I don't know.
Of truth.
I think it's just because I'm from the East, but it's like relaxing listening to an old lady yell at somebody for like a half an hour. I don't know what that is. But it's like,
Fair enough. It's soothing.
It's soothing. It's like, oh.
So
She's not yelling at me. That's soothing.
Exactly. But it's usually truth bombs, like constantly. So
massive truth bombs all the time.
Must be relieving.
Also hijinks. It's always fun. Yeah.
So you do penciling, like we're seeing right here. Do you normally ink all your own material?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll start inking at some point. I'm just getting this down real quick.
No, for sure. Well, some people may not know. I mean, when it comes to comics, there's a lot of different jobs to be had, and some people do them all. Some people only do one. So this is obviously kind of the beginning, which is always with the pencils, and then it goes into an inking phase, which is always fun. I used to love doing that because I wasn't really good at the pencil part, but what I can do is put a lot of black lines on top of people's. So, but it does take its own art form in that. Would you say? I mean, it can change it dramatically depending on who you are.
Oh yeah, depending on who's inking you, it can change your style completely. Sometimes I use a real thin line, and some people use more brush. It just depends on how you've adjusted your style. But I like a thin, controlled line because I'm a little OCD, so it all works.
Do you ever color your own stuff, or do you mostly?
I do occasionally. It's a little bit more time consuming for me. So if I'm on monthly, there's no way. But personal projects and things. And I did do some sample colors with Kelly when I first started. So I have a little bit of those left over, but that's the last time I colored.
Yeah. So again, there's like multiple jobs, and so colorists then come in and do that. And then there's a lot more that goes on, but letterers, so it brings in like a huge process. There's a lot of people. When you look at a comic book, whether it's free or not, just know that there's like hundreds of people behind that, starting with this lovely lady on this one, and then it goes on to doing many more things. But I love the pencil stage. It's just always so beautiful and graceful to me, and this one is killing it. You're really putting a lot of detail in that. That's like kind of your work, though, right?
Yeah, I can't help it. I have to.
As you can see, her concentration level is high. She's like,
oh yeah,
Do you have a question?
I have. Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I do mostly traditional. I have a weird hand grip, so when I use the tablet pens, it cuts off. Like I can't feel my thumb, so it.
Not good. Not good at all.
Like I actually have like all my pens are padded because it's just like. I have this weird, like, primal grip. So.
Just scratching it out.
Yeah, it really is just kind of a, yeah. Right now I'm a little jittery, so it's hard to, like,
Yeah, you're on the spot. I got another question for you. I'm going to go right over here. What's your question?
Has she been drawing?
How long have you been drawing, Marley?
Forever.
She was born with it on her hand.
Well, I think I used to trace comics and stuff when I was younger. You know, like I think probably 4th grade was when I really, you know, I remember my dad got into a thing with me where he was like, "Well, I can draw this better than you," and I was like, "No, you can't. That's it. I'm gonna draw this Psylocke and it's gonna be awesome." Like, yeah. So it's kind of. Can't really remember when I started, but it's just kind of been something that's always been with me.
It's been that long. It's been that much part of you.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that, you know, you can't start later and not find love in it. It's just, I like comics, so I always drew them.
Well, it sounds like your dad did too. So you're from a comics family or appreciators?
Appreciators. He also, he got me into Vertigo because he had a Preacher comic, and he looked at me and he said, "You can't read this." So I immediately.
I was just about to say that. Like, I'm a kid's weight.
Yeah. So I snatched it and I read. That was, thanks, Dad.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what are the other, like, what is your other Vertigo titles that you really like, or you can suggest to the audience?
I love Transmet. I love, I'm a Hellblazer nerd, so I have, like, a lot of Hellblazer issues. Nice. Yeah, you know, like, there was like a small series that Warren Ellis did of Hellblazer, like a little mini, like kind of experiences through London. Oh, I love that trade is so good. But Lucifer and you have the like Transmet is really great. And just so many.
All the canon,
I know. I'm like, I like them all. Like, I think Death, the Time of Your Life, and Death, the High Cost of Living are really, really fantastic books to read. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
So, did you go to school for this in any way, shape, or form?
No, I just trained with a bunch of dudes. They kind of taught me the ropes on, and I took it from there and just stuck around and. They were like, "Oh, she's not going anywhere. I guess I'll give her work." Like, yeah.
So. Oh, that's comics for you, for sure. Just gotta stick with it, no matter what. Like
pretty
your art
much.
and everything.
Tenacity is a big thing.
The mother of all, for sure.
Yeah.
So looking good. You can see that the inks are really like popping it out. Your lines are very like deliberate, almost as deliberate as your pencils. I feel.
Oh yeah, it's all a control problem. Like even there, I'm like, I'm still shaky. I can't do this with my hands.
No, it looks
too much caffeine. Oh yeah, I have to limit the caffeine when I have to ink.
Oh yeah, I never thought about that.
It does because it makes you shaky.
And it's probably when you want it the most, right?
It is always when you want it the most, especially if you're on deadline.
So, what other things about Shade can you kind of share with everybody? What's like the future? Are you guys going to continue? Like, how's it all working out?
Well, there's lots of plans for her. Now that she's left high school at this point in the series, so she's kind of exploring the world and getting into trouble. So it's she's kind of coming to terms with some hard truths about being human. So it's ever evolving process.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
like when you leave high school and you're just like, I'm not going to go to college for a little while. I need to like be a barista and find myself type of thing. Is that what she's going through? Like,
Well, that, and yeah, just, she's an alien on Earth,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of all the different experiences of being human. She's becoming. There's lots of adventures in store for her.
so what do you feel like? Do you feel like you're akin to her in any way, shape, or form? Do you have any similarities between the character and yourself?
She is a weirdo, and I definitely have aspects of weirdo in me. So, I think it's kind of like I live somewhere that's pretty remote, so I haven't talked to people in a long time, so it's like that awkward interaction stage where you're like, so feeling like a bit of a stranger.
Yeah, like an alien, maybe even.
Yeah. So there's some aspects of those I can feel when I draw her.
Are there any like kind of tricks of the trade, like shortcuts that you could teach us? I mean, just talking out loud. Or
Shortcuts. If you're going for traditional, sometimes it's easier to work things out on a sketchbook, and if you're going, and then blow it up, and working small or doing your layouts small. If you're doing city or backgrounds, a lot of times your perspective points are more accurate when you do them small. So when you blow it up, it's a little bit. I mean, you can line it up if you need to, but they're usually a little bit more accurate. So if you need to speed up the process,
Nice.
yeah.
Well, we are going to be giving away this sketch at one point. I got to figure out a cool way to do so. And it might be like kind of a trivia, question. Let's see. Oh, who can answer? What project did she do with Tim Seeley? Does anyone know? Anyone?
It's okay.
You all look as tired as I feel, just so you know.
Yeah, it's a little
Everyone's,
late in the
sitting
day,
down,
huh?
Late in the day. So sorry.
That's all right.
Let me think of something easier. All right. I'm just going to ask you, who's your favorite character? DC character. Very, very specific. Batgirl? All right. You're getting that sketch. Because that's my favorite character, and we are like this now. So you're going to get this beautiful thing. And you want to be an artist. So I hope you do well. Study hard. Stay in school. And draw all the time or paint all the time.
Yeah.
I really do suggest that, right?
Well, it's just kind of part of it.
Yeah.
And lots of practice. Lots and lots of practice. There we go.
There we go. We're getting it. Is that fur?
Just little bits.
Little bits. Like she has a
Switch
fur
up the
collar.
pins. Yeah.
I just think she's totally adorable. I love it.
She is cute.
I
I've
love
got
her
to
hair.
add some shadows here so it's not so thin, but just something. Just give me a second.
No worries. You get as much time as you want. We're in the home stretch of this day, so we're all hanging on.
It's time to find somewhere to camp. Get some food.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what are you doing after this?
We're going to the young animal panel, so it'll be
is that, at 5:30 today, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh! I gotta make sure you are not late. All right, you have 7 minutes.
I can do it. It'll be fine.
She can do it.
Yeah.
She's a comic book artist. She's fast. I know it.
Somewhere in there. That's funny.
You win.
Yes.
But he works here, so. It's really good.
It's
I
fun.
love it. That's actually your first work that I found out about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
And so then when I saw Shade was coming out and I got the job at DC, it was like, that's the first thing I read. Yep.
Sweet.
Listen up to the artist. Yep.
It's exciting. Yeah,
All
that
right,
was a fun book.
She's so cute. I love her. Love her, love her, love her. She looks so great. I can't believe you think that's thin.
Huh?
Like, did you say it's thin? Do you need your like shadowing needs to happen? Is that what you want to give some dimension? Is that?
Yeah,
your
just added
thoughts?
a little bit something else because I go thin line. It takes me a little while to build on. Like I do my thin lines first, and then I kind of build up from there. Sorry, it's like a head sketch, but
No worries.
yeah.
So I know that people like there's certain page like that people do a day. What is your kind of
I can do a page a day.
page a day?
Yeah, it's pencils and inks.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And in a panic, I can do a page and a half.
Yeah. If you have to, you
If I
will.
have to, yeah. Occasionally.
Well, where's that panel at? Let's see. What room is it in? I will find that out. If you are interested in this and the whole line, the panel is in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at where that is. On the DC All Access app, if you have any questions about any of our panels or any of our signings, it's all there. And I've been using it all day. Even when you work here, you do.
Because you get lost. It's a lot.
Yeah, agreed. And panel. I think it's right behind me, but I'm gonna look at this because I want them to see that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And that would be 5AB.
Yep.
So she will be on that panel. Gerard Way, John Rivera, Todd Klein, Jody Hauser, Kelly Fitzpatrick, and Cecil, who writes Shade.
That's Cecil Castellucci.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And they will be talking about all that and more. But yeah, what's happening with Young Animal? What's happened? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
All that great stuff.
All good. All good things. There we go. Sorry, I know the way I hold my grip, it's like the picture disappears.
No, but it's good to actually see that. Like everybody has their own style.
Yeah.
And I've seen some people hold pencils in ways that I can't even imagine doing anything, let alone making a beautiful piece of art.
Oh, yeah. There's some amazing grips out there. Like, some people hold the pen like this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's because I'm left-handed. Most, how people do the whole
That's lefties
thing.
usually do that.
Yeah, because they're trying to emulate the right hand.
Yeah.
But I was lucky. My teacher when I was learning how to write was left-handed, so I write perfectly straight and thank goodness.
Very reasonable.
But I used to draw so much that I actually have this knot on my left finger, and it will be there forever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross.
Oh, yours is really Well, you actually do it for a living, so
it's gross.
you earned that.
Yeah, I did earn it, but my hands will never be pretty.
But what they make is, and that's what matters, right? It really, really matters.
Of course, it's worth the sacrifice.
All right, well, she's just finishing up, and I just want to thank everyone for coming to our booth and watching this demo and being very supportive.
Yes.
And again, the Young Animal panel is happening directly right after this. So if you want more information and about the whole thing, they're all going to be in one place, which is always fun. On their great group, as a group, actually, even if they're not working on the same books. I think you all have kind of a similar, way of thinking and way of, creating. So that's rad.
Yeah, totally. Totally cool. Oh, yeah. Look at that little shade. She's changing.
She is. It's beautiful.
All right, one last thing, and then
One last thing.
Yeah.
And then signing of it, of course.
Then I'm gonna go right. Yes, of course. Oh, my signature is very unimpressive. I apologize in advance.
But that is beautiful.
It's all right for being terribly caffeinated.
No, it's great. It's great. Are you excited to get it? Yeah?
Yeah.
So is this day 1 or 2? 2.
Here we go.
This is Friday.
Just a little
Awesome.
guy. Yeah. Oh my God, I want to touch things more. Like I want to keep changing things.
I know, but it's beautiful as it is. And I
Okay.
want to thank you so much, Marley.
No
and thanks to
problem.
everybody else. And thank you, sweetheart. Have a great convention. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.